And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Inside the Bubble. Another great show planned for you, highlights and more as we bring in our crew. Let's take a look at our guys. Matt Harrington, great to see you today. How are things shaping up for you this week?
Yeah, it was a very busy week, Pete. You know, we had a lot of games, of course, over the Thanksgiving weekend, and a lot of chaos is what I like to describe it as well. We'll get into more of that in just a bit.
Your favorite term. And Brandon Spratt, after a week off, we welcome you back into the fold, and what a week we had.
Yeah, good to be back here with you all, nice and refreshed. Like you said, it's always a great time of year. We think of football around Thanksgiving, but I think in this part of the country, it's all high school hockey.
I am thankful for these highlights that we're about to roll for you, and we've got some great stuff. Let's get into the highlights right now. We're going to get into Totino Grace and Chaska. They had themselves a wild one. Look at this, off the opening draw. That's the opening face-off, folks. This thing's going to get wild here. Puck is going to be played back into the corner, and out front it goes, and the puck is open, and that's a 1-0 lead. Now Brady Soderstrom's going to make it 2-0. A quick wrister there. The Chaska Hawks are not done, as there's a quick wrister again. A battle goal around the goal mouth. Donovan Madsen now makes it 3-0. That after the first period. Now the Eagles go to work in the second. Liam Henry buries. That's early on in the second period to make it now 3-1. Now Ian Johnson late in the second. Nice wrister there, 3-2 as they take this one into the third period. And here it is. It's going to be Trey Peck posted in. And we're now tied at 3. This next one, everybody knows I love a good redirect, and why not? Peck again, this off the Noah Osland shot, and it's now 4-3. And then it's going to be 5-3. Look at this roof from the slot. Little turnover here. Waylon Black creates issues behind the net, and there's another shot for the 5-3 league. Eagles go on to win by a score of 6-3 with 6 unanswered goals.
We go up north to Duluth East and Grand Rapids. Great long-time rivalry here. It's an early save for Duluth East, but the rebound put home by Jamison Duell to make it 1-0 in favor of the Thunderhawks. Then we go back to the point here. Duluth East, it's Nathan Garski. Seems like we talk about him almost every week. He gets the goal to make it 2-0. Thunderhawks in firm control, and they take even firmer control here as Luke Pellicek gets the goal to make it 3-0. That makes it 3-0, as I mentioned. 13-17 still to go in the second. Grand Rapids would put their foot on the gas again as Ander Rahala gets it to make it 4-0. The lead would get a little bit smaller, though. Look at this play off the end wall here for Duluth East. This is Timothy Balthazar that will get the shot and the goal. And then Grand Rapids would strike again here. Look at this move in front. The backhand finish from Ander Rahala makes it a 5-1 lead. Duluth East, though, not going away. Take a look at this nifty play by Caden Cole to make it 5-2. That would be the final score as the Thunderhawks cruise to a section victory, already 2-0 against section opponents.
It is the Minnetonka Thanksgiving preview. Minnetonka and Andover doing battle at Pagel Activity Center. Andover opens the scoring on a power play. Brody Peterson from Camden Langfeld and Chase Nadu, and it's 1-0. Into the second week, or later on in the period there, Skipper's wire went through traffic. Remember that spot. Devin Berg ties it at 1. Now watch this, tied at 1 in the second. Berg walks the line, in front it goes, and there's Ethan Sturgis to finish. 2-1 Skippers. Into the third period we go. Langfeld again with a nice stick. Luke Babineau, their leading point getter, back in the lineup this year. The senior finishes. He evens it at 2. The Huskies are feeling it. But remember that spot I talked about? Here's Tyson Mahadi. Wires in the wrister. Skippers go on to win by a score of 3-2. And they pick up their first win of the season, outshoot Andover 28-14, and are now 1-2 on the season after falling to Rosemont.
We send you up north for a big-time Class A battle. Defending state champs Cathedral at Hibbing Chisholm. We pick it up first period. Hibbing able to bury the loose change out front. Hunter Gustafson putting Hibbing Chisholm up 1-0. Second period, game tied at 1. This is a breakaway for Cathedral's Caden Johnson, who puts it between the 5-hole. Cathedral Crusaders taking the 2-1 lead. However, late in the period, power play for the home team, and they were ripped one to the back of the net. Tate Swanson, with 90 seconds in the period, ties it at 2. And then in the final minute of the period, more chaos out front. Hunter Gustafson, his second, gives Hibbing Chisholm the lead heading to the third. Opening minute of period 3, and Cathedral's explosive top line to work. Oh, John Hirschfeld, what a pass to senior Joey Gillespie to tie it at 3. However, about 90 seconds later, a lot of these goals for Hibbing Chisholm looking pretty similar. Kevin Elsner, this time on the power play, puts them up, and they would pad that lead again. I mentioned similar looking goals. How about Whitaker Reworths puts Hibbing Chisholm up by 2, and they would go on to add an empty netter to win it 6-3. Big win there at home for Hibbing Chisholm.
Cretin-Aram Hall and Hermantown, buckle your seatbelts, folks. This was a wild one here. Cretin-Aram Hall looking to strike first, and they do right on the wing. That's a beautiful shot there from Max Anderson as he goes for the nice celly as well. 4:15 to go in the first. Raiders looking for more. Loose puck is put home. That is Alex Bladeau, who makes it 2-0 late in the first, but no, turnover here for the Raiders, and that means Jack Slattengren gets the goal for Hermantown. It's 2-1. Final 30 seconds of the period, and Hermantown's going to tie this game with the goal from River Freeman, a name that you're probably going to hear a lot this year on Inside the Bubble. We go now into the second middle period. Raiders get the only goal of this second period from none other than Max Anderson. We'll pick it up now at a tie game here. It's late in the third, and Hermantown gets the go-ahead goal with 3:25 to go from Ford Skida. Would that be enough? Well, let's find out. Off the face-off, and Cretin, another loose puck. Goaltender having some issues with that in this one, but the Raiders tie it up. We go into overtime. We end in a 4-4 tie here in Hermantown as we'll look at some other notable scores, Brandon, from this week.
Yeah, Hill Murray big over their rivals. Matamidi 9-1. How about a wild game at Rochester Century John Marshall? 8-7 Northfield overtime winners. East Grand Forks fell to 0-3 with this loss to section rival Detroit Lakes. And then into the weekend, St. Thomas Academy knocking off Rogers 7-3. More of a football score there. Moorhead over Grand Rapids 4-3 overtime on Hockey Night in Minnesota. And Cretin defeating Hibbing Chisholm as that on the second leg of that up north swing, 6-1.
All right, let's jump into the girls' highlights now from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. This was Hockey Night in Minnesota. Red Knights looking to strike first, and they do. Kendall Hassler, the Minnesota State commit, makes it 1-0. If you are having deja vu, very similar. Another breakaway here. It's Bryn Heising. Benilde quickly jumping out to a 2-0 lead in this one. It's a 2-1 game at this point. And look at Bailey Gray, the Long Island University commit, the Delaware commit, Bailey Gray, getting the goal. It's 3-1 now. And look at this move from June Semling. She's just a sophomore, but she's making herself well known across the state of hockey. It's 3-2 to Red Knights at this point. Another chance and an opportunity once more here, as that makes it a 4-2 game. That was the second of the game for Bailey Gray. And then the one-timer for Kendall Hassler, her second. Couple players getting multi-goal games here for the Red Knights in this one. Some trouble in front. It's put home there by Brooklyn Riley. That made it 5-2. Red Knights would pour it on in the third. They go on to an 8-2, their third in a row.
Let's head over to the Eden Prairie Community Center, Section 2 AA implications. The Fire and the Eagles. Katya Sander, power play goal. Josie Lynn and Addie Cowan on the assist. The Eagles will respond 2 minutes later. Ava Moe sprung on the breakaway. Sarah David with a nice pass. And we're tied at 1. Jack Brown on the call. Terrific work there. Into the second. Look at this. Tied at 1. Eagles, Sarah David. Oh, the moves. Oh, and there's Swartz out to shut the door. She says no. Wow, what's some great offensive flair there by the Eagles as they had another chance. Now we move on into the third. Early, the Fire replaying the lead. Ella Nonweiler from Addie Cowan, and it's 2-1 Holy Family. You'll hear Cowan's name a lot here in this contest as she takes advantage of a mishandle. Look out! She stuffs that one home for the 3-1 margin in the third as the Fire will go on to pick up the 3-1 win. Lorton had 19 saves in the game. Cowan with a 3-point effort.
Dodge County, number 1, looking to stay on a roll at South St. Paul. We picked this one up in the first period. Pete, you talked about you like the tips. How about this one? Hannah Peterson tipping home Sophia Busking, shot for 1-0 lead. We take it now late second period, still a 1-goal game. Not for long. Macy Cook with a beautiful shot, low blocker there. Puts the Wildcats up by 2. And then this, just 20 seconds later, they're able to pad the lead. Nora Karstensen banging it home off the goalie's pad, I believe, for a 3-0 Wildcat lead. Take it to the third. Watch number 6, Bryn Spreiter out front. It's going to be worked there. There's another tip by Spreiter. Dodge County is on a roll. However, South St. Paul in the beautiful cream unis would not be shut out. Lily Pockel beats the goaltender Ida Huber near side. This one in the final minute, but 4-1 is how it ends. Molly Cook, the St. Mary's commit, picks up her 100th point.
We go to Apple Valley, where it's the Eagles hosting the Raiders of Cretin-Aram Hall. And Apple Valley going to take advantage of some trouble here in the defensive zone for Cretin-Aram Hall. It's put home on the rebound by Korkowski as she gets the goal to make it 1-0. Look at this pass over and right on the tape of Turnquist. Cameron Turnquist with a big goal. It's 2-0 in favor of the Eagles. Raiders, though, not going away in this one. They get a nice pass out front and a good finish as well from Ava Perry as she makes it 2-1. Now this next goal, this is Michaela Moran for Apple Valley. This is a historic goal, number 167. She breaks the all-time Apple Valley record. She now has the points and goals record. Congratulations to Michaela Moran. Eagles win this one 3-1.
We send you up north to Yanmar Arena for a little Thanksgiving holiday action. Blaine taking on Breck, and first period, slick pass out front for Abigail Costa, and the Bengals lead it 1-0. That now second period, it's Breck on the power play. This is Breck's Taylor Hall, looking a little like the NHL version of Taylor Hall there, going high glove. Beautiful power play goal. Ties it at 1. Third period, the Mustangs are going to take the lead for the first time. Kennedy Crable with the shot. 6.5 minutes to go, they lead, but Abigail Costa able to repeat the trick. Look at this great pass out front, and it's tied at 2. Breck, though, on the power play in overtime. Looking for a winner, it's number 7, McKenna Schliemann out front. The sprawling finish, and gives the Mustangs a big double-A win up north. They would end up winning both games on the weekends as Breck solidifies its spot in the top 10.
Of the notable scores to take a look at, Edina erupts for 3 in the third period. They beat Hill Murray 6-3. Farmington in a huge clash, and they're looking to go to the 2-1 win over Lakeville South. And it's War Road 9 and Bemidji 3 in that game. War Road has been absolutely on fire. Minnetonka, big win over Maple Grove. They're now 4-1-1 on the season. Delano Rockford tops East Grand Forks 5-2. Tigers now 4-2-1 under Lance Reynolds at the helm. And Holy Family beats Blake 5-2 in a huge clash there. And we have some great stuff coming up for you. We have a Coach's Corner with Mike Randolph. We'll talk about his historic win. And we have a new feature, the top 10 plays of the week. All of that and more coming up right after this.
What's your water score? Find out with a free water analysis during the Aquarius Mega Sale. And save up to 25% off when you upgrade to Kinetico, the world's most efficient water treatment system. Aquarius Home Services, earning the right to be recommended.
An 11% rebate on everything in Menards. Protect your boats and recreational vehicles with FVP RV and Marine Antifreeze. It has burst-proof protection down to -50 degrees, keeping you protected against freezing temperatures. Get a gallon for $2.49 after rebate. Attract a variety of songbirds and cardinals to your feeder with Enchanted Gardens Cardinal Mix. It's a blend of nutritious seeds that keeps birds coming back. Get a bag for $15.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards. neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a Truestone checking account. It's true, because we're Truestone.
Taco John's queso is back, and it's so good you could drink it. Well, you could, but it's better on fried chicken tacos. This cheesy queso boss burrito should quench your thirst for that Hatch chili kick. Creamy 3-cheese queso is good enough to drink, but better on nachos. Our whole menu is just waiting to be dipped or dunked. So even though it's so good you could drink it, forget it. Get me a straw. The ultimate queso takeover is back at Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
And we welcome you into the Coach's Corner, and we bring them all in, but we've got a legend right here. 708 wins achieved with a big 11-0 win over Prairie Center last night. Northern Lakes Lightning coach and legend Mike Randolph. Congratulations, sir. Thanks for joining Inside the Bubble here today.
Thank you so much, Pete. You've been a big part of this journey, and I'm happy to be with you.
It was great to be on the call and be able to see how it all played out. And did you ever think that you could ever get to a number like this?
Actually, I didn't think about it at all, Pete. I think the media kept track of it more than I did. I never really kept track of wins and losses. I'm thinking about what we're going to do in practice tomorrow or today or the next day or what game's coming up. So I really didn't put a number on it until we got close to it. And now to reach it, I'm very happy to have it behind me and get ready for practice today.
As a hockey coach, what are the most important components for you, for your individual players and team to draw from their experience playing for Mike Randolph?
The most important thing that I want them and to get out of this season, every season, is to grow as a person, turn young men into adults, productive adults in society. And I've been very fortunate to have players that have stayed connected with me beyond the years of coaching them. And they've grown up to have beautiful families and being great fathers, great husbands. And that's the most important thing of this journey, is to not only teach them to think of more than themselves and become a team, but also to become productive people in society. So that's what I strive to do. And based on the text messages I've received in the last hours, it speaks that I did a pretty good job of that.
That is about the greatest feedback any coach could ever get. And you did share something with me from a player that played from you previously. And, you said, this is why you coach. These are things that go beyond.
You get pretty emotional when you read the text messages, the emails, and I'm sure I'll get cards sent to me as well. Just how I touch their lives and how, this is a while ago, Pete, when I
was 21, I think is what that was dated.
Yeah. And actually he played in on the 98 championship team. And so for him to reach out like he did, and so many others, not only players, it's coaches, parents, just it humbles you to realize how many people you've touched by winning one game last night and setting a record. And they should all feel a big part of it, because you don't achieve that without a lot of help along the way. So I'm blessed to have a lot of people pulling for me, surrounded by people that care about me.
One of the things that you mentioned, which I thought was powerful last night, is you mentioned 50 years with your wife, Jeannie. And my favorite part of what you said was, here's to 50 more. And you could hear it in your voice, the passion and your appreciativeness of you as a player, which transitioned into a coach. That is like a key component of your support staff that has allowed you to touch all of these people. So your family, are touching these people as well.
Well, what was so special last night is to have my whole family there and some of my grandkids. Just to see them there, the game was in hand, and when I could look across the rink and see them there and see my wife there, who stood by me for 50 years, as you said, as a player and then as a coach, obviously you have to find a special person that makes that work. And because coaching is a selfish profession, and you take a lot of time away from the family. And we had 4 kids, and as you know what the hockey season is like, she took care of the kids during hockey season, and I took care of them during the summer. So we were a special team, and it was a special night for us. And Jenny has been there for me, and she continues to support me, and she's going to let me retire on my own terms. She's not going to make the decision for me. So I can't thank her enough for everything she's done for me.
The ultimate tag team partner. And Mike, that's going to conclude our Coach's Corner.
No, Pete, I've really, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for high school hockey and what you've done for me personally, covering the Hounds and wherever I've gone. And I can't thank you enough.
It's very humbling. Thank you. And always, it's been a great ride with you, buddy. And we'll certainly have more.
Thanks, Pete.
Mike Randolph has done a lot of great things in the game and truly a legend. We now get into a new feature. It's the top 10 plays of the week. We comb the multitude of games that we have. And Matt Harrington, we're going to turn it over to you. Take it from here, buddy.
All right, let's jump into our top 10 plays of the week. We're going to start out in Wayzata, Eden Prairie and Wayzata on the girls' side. Look at this little move at center by Sarah David. Gets around the defense easily, and the wrist shot goes through. We'll go to number 9 now. You saw this one earlier. This was Caden Cole with a nice little nifty goal there. Nicely done by Cole. As we go on to number 8, it's been a tough year for Waconia, but Ellen Dahl, nifty move here, guys. Brandon slowing it down, showing off the dangles.
Yeah, I love that. Just freeze the goaltender out at the top of the crease and able to slip it by. Nice goal.
All right, I want you to keep an eye on this effort by Olivia Corton. She's going to walk down near the hash marks, back to the front, keeps it alive, and then gets the tip, and that's a tremendous individual effort by Corton of Moorhead. We go now to Eden Prairie again, this time on the boys' side. Look at the pass and the finish by Alex Hall. That was dangalicious. And you'll see Breck now. Taylor Hall, you saw this one earlier, just taking it for a walk. Nicely done here on the glove side. And how about the nice little celly, too, afterwards from Taylor Hall. Pete, you had this one in this tremendous, or no, you did not. We'll get to that in a second, but this is Nolan Warner with a beautiful play here on the tip. That makes
behind the back, Matt.
Yeah, the
behind
pass
the back
and the
as
finish.
well. And we'll jump forward here to Elk River. Oh my goodness, this was Patrick Kane, I thought, watching this one. Take a look at the dangles from Luke Petraw.
Feet didn't leave the ice, Matt Harrington.
He didn't. Now we'll throw it to you, Pete. Look at this incredible save here from Chase Jurdy.
This is mini sticks material here. You're playing with your kid and you're just throwing the glove.
All right, you saw Nolan Warner just a few moments ago. Of course, he's back. He did the lacrosse style, the Michigan. That is your number 1 play of the week, fellas. Well
Look
done.
at that blast in front of the net there, Matt. That's how that happens. Wow. The Kare 11 top 11, the committee has been absolutely besieged. And I'm telling you, I'm glad I'm not a part of it. So I don't know, Matt. I don't know what the committee came up with here. That everybody's beating everybody. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we will get into it, Pete. And we've got a new number 1 on the girls' AA side. It is Centennial Spring Lake Park. It was a perfect 5-0. Minnetonka and Edina also make big jumps after their win. Edina, of course, beat Hill Murray, so that's why they go up to number 3. And then there's a little shifting as well. Roseau, Woodbury, Moorhead, and Benilde all move up a spot. And then, Brandon, you'll have Grand Rapids Greenway that's been playing a lot better as well recently. What stands out to you here in this chaotic bunch?
Oh, well, Matt, I mean, Centennial off to that flying start, of course, but really spots 2 through 6. I mean, how are you supposed to sort through this right now? Andover beat Edina, but they're the only team with 2 losses. Edina gets a big win over Hill Murray. May seem like a big drop for the Pioneers from 1 to 5, but really, we looked at the teams ahead of them, and everybody in the top 4 kind of has that early season signature win. Hill Murray has a bunch of good wins, maybe not a signature win.
All right, we move on to girls A now. Now, a lot of these teams did not play this week because of the Thanksgiving holiday, so it is pretty much similar to last week. We do have a few minor changes. Proctor, Hermantown, and Albert Lee move up a spot. South St. Paul goes down. But we do welcome back Fergus Falls, a team that's been playing well lately. One of their early season losses, Brandon, was Marshall, and they're starting to find their groove a little bit here.
Yeah, Fergus has put up some good results, I thought. And in retrospect, the loss to Marshall in the first game of the season looks a little bit different. They hung with Wyzetta, who's off to a pretty good start to the year in AA. So, yeah, wanted to reward the Otters and put them back in. They'll definitely be a threat to make it back to the state tournament. Otherwise, like you said, holding station for the most part. We're going to get some good games in this group of teams this week, though. Holy Angels is going to play Orono. Mound West Tonka's schedule will start to pick up here a little bit as well. So, girls A, stationary mostly for now, but watch this space.
All right, on to the boys AA, and I'll open this up for both of you guys here in a second, but I don't even know where to start because, I've been doing this for a few years now, and this is probably the most difficult time I've ever had combined between the 4, and this was probably the most difficult of them all. Boys AA, St. Thomas Academy is 3-0. They have a big win over Rogers, and then Hill Murray is 2-0. A couple of dominant wins over Class A teams. Then you have Moorhead, Edina, Shakopee dropping. We welcome in Rosemont and Stillwater, Pete, 2 teams that have been playing extremely good hockey.
Well, one of the things you have to consider is Benilde St. Margaret should be in there too. But where do you go? The Holy Angel Stars have 2 wins and 1 for Benilde St. Margaret's, but this is anybody's game right now. Right, Brandon?
Totally agree. I mean, I think nothing encapsulates it better than the turkey trot on opening weekend. All 4 teams getting 1 win. You can already throw your head-to-heads out the window, and you see a little bit already of that in our first ranking. We struggled with what to do with Wyzetta. They stay at 8.
In the Class A, Matt, I guess you let everybody know who the committee is. But anyway, where do you go here? War Road at 1-0-1. Hermantown has yet to win a game, yet they remain number 2. They had a nice tie against Cretan Durham Hall. Monticello has a win in there. Delano is looking solid. Hibbing Chisholm, to me, is kind of the dark horse, but East Grand Forks had a tough week.
They did. They started 0-3. They got a couple of wins against a couple of North Dakota teams at the end of the week. That is why they just narrowly stay in, albeit by just the tiniest of margins. And then Monticello beat Orono head-to-head. That's a really high-quality win for the Moose. And then Hibbing Chisholm does have a couple of losses. One of them is to Hey, how about them going from unranked to number 3, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, they deserve it. They had a huge comeback against Hibbing Chisholm, putting 8 goals past them, and they're off to as good a start as anybody. I mean, we have Hermantown and Cathedral in the top 5 without a win yet, so why not?
And the top 5 games of the week, upcoming girls games on the network, Hill Murray and South St. Paul. That should be a good one there for sure. I love that Proctor Hermantown at Delano game. Will they have something for Proctor Hermantown? Delano's playing well. Edina at Minnetonka. Who doesn't love that one? Then Mound West Tonka, Southwest Christian at Dodge County. A big one there, a barometer game for both. Eden Prairie's at Stillwater. I'm on the call for that one on Tuesday. Elk River and Totino Grace, East Grand Forks and Hermantown. Also War Road in Grand Rapids. And then it seems to be a yearly tradition. This one's a little bit later than usual from what we see on the schedule. Edina at Benilde St. Margaret's. And these are just the top 5 games that we chose for the purposes of saying, hey, check these out. There's plenty more. And then, of course, we have the Kare 11 game of the week, Hockey Night in Minnesota, Woodbury's Strong Girls program against Stillwater. Note the 5 o'clock start time, that coming up on Tuesday the 3rd. And then we will have another great Southeastern Conference matchup between those two. And then in our other game, it's going to be Matamidi and Hermantown. And that is always, guys, a perpetual state tournament matchup between those two teams. They never disappoint when they play. And you know what? Hermantown will be looking to pick up their first win. What a great show we had here today, guys. Thanks for your contributions. Matt, make it a great week. Brandon, make it a great week. And when we come back next week, we'll have another great Coach's Corner. We'll have a player spotlight. We'll have the top 10 games, plays of the week. We'll also look at some of the greatest highlights around. Matt, your contributions have been fantastic. Thank you for your work. Brandon, you as well. Good luck out at your games tonight, this week, guys. And we'll say so long, everybody.